asked father, that I got the visa for England. Can I go? He said, as you like. So in this way, I came to England, and the first job I did in the Royal Dental Hospital, Leicester Square, London, which is the original first dental hospital in England, and the best one out of the lot. And I spent 6 months over there. Then in April 1967, I came to Liverpool and started the job for 3 years in Alderhay Hospital, a children's hospital in England. So that was the start of my in England and Liverpool. Then I met you people. As soon as I finished over there, I passed the local exams also, because you have to pass 2 exams. Then I started practice, in a shop of the Chaudhry's, and on Swindon Road, and that was it was Chaudhry who suggested me that start the practice in my grocery shop, where I started, because that time there were no such conditions as getting the license from the council like that, Whatever, wherever you like to start, start pulling the teeth, you can do it. So I started in Swindon Road, and then I did the practice for 25 years on Swindon. The life in the beginning, in 50s, 60s, when you are born even, that was a bit a very ancient type, lifestyle. When the people used to live, in company, in companionship, like friends and like that. And while I was sitting here in 1970, and looking at the ceiling of the house, I wished that it could be my house. That was in 1970. And exactly after 10 years, the owner of this house, Akram Khan, he came to my home and asked me if I can buy the house. So I bought this house because of the request of Akram Khan. It's very, very ancient type. The toilets used to be in, except in some posh areas in Liverpool, which was considered to be Liverpool 16 or 18, like your house. The other used to be the toilets used to be outside. It used to be in the backyard of the house. So in this way, Flexman Street used to be a Swati living over there. And it used to be a Mirza of Granby Street, Manazza's great-grandfather. His house, where I lived for a year, along with 2 other Pakistanis. So that was the living condition. And for bath, we used to go either Lodge Lane, bath, or we used to go to university. Or I used to go to the Alderhay Hospital, a resident department. That used to be the very preliminary and original type of accommodation used to be in whole of Liverpool. And mostly the houses were without bathroom or toilets. And coal used to be used. There was no central heating air conditioning at that time. And on the floor, there was no carpeting. There used to be only lino or the tiles, if some people got the prosperous enough to buy them. My mom and dad also was the progeny of 300, 400 years of one of the warriors who fought the last battle of Panipat, one of the grounds where the battle was fought in India. And his name was so they came from Afghanistan, my ancestor, and they were speaking Pashtun, Pashto, which is Afghani language, And then they came to Afghanistan and settled over there in the barren land of Afghanistan at that time. Even now, except the poppy is grown over there, there is not much any industry or anything like that. So they went with battle with him, with that fighter, And so then they are coming back after the fight, after defeating the Marathas of Indians and Hindus. Then when they reached this land of Jalandhar, which is in India, about 80 miles from Lahore, in India, East Punjab, you can say. There they saw the greenery over there. They told the leader, Afghani leader, that we are not going back to Afghanistan now because that land is not suitable for us. So they settled over there in two cities. One was Jalandhar and other was Hoshiarpur, from where Taj Mahal, ancestor came. So in those two cities, the land was very fertile, and most of the irrigation used to be done by the wells. It is called chahi. Chahi mean the irrigation by wells, and barani mean the irrigation by the rain, natural rain. So these were the two type of the land used to be over there, barani and chahi. So in this way they settled over there. And when my father took me from, he used to, he actually, what happened that he was educated in the one of the India's best university called Aligarh University. Aligarh, very popular one. And after graduation, he came to Lahore, and there, where the Imran Khan got the house, Zaman Park. Over there, he became the professor of Persian and psychology, my father. But as he was born and lived most of the time in Jalandhar, the agricultural land, he didn't like the life of Lahore. So he, after a few months, he left the job. And he went back and took the job in the agriculture department of India, in which he used to go to three cities. One used to be the Faisalabad, Liverpool is called, and the other was Jalandhar, and third one used to be Rawalpindi or Peshawar. So in this way, father used to work, in the agriculture department. And after partition, that suddenly that father's what's called the post was already transfer was already there from Jalandhar to Faisalabad, Lalpur, which is called Lalpur, which is about 200 miles from your daddy's city, Bah. My father was an educationist, and being from the best university of India, he was very much qualified in 2, 3 languages. First was the English, and second one was the Persian. Huh? He was very adept in it, in the languages. And then he wanted his children, to go to the best education. So we were 5 brothers, 2 sisters, before partition. Then 2 brothers died over there, natural death. So in reality, we were 7 brothers and 2 sisters. We all, became graduate, especially my elder sister, who graduated after 8 years of in the degree course. She started studying, with my elder brother, and continued, along with the youngest brother, to qualify along with him. So in this way, both the sisters and brothers, and out of 5 brothers, we were all graduate. One was graduation, and secondly, we used to be a very athletic type of mind. Because my grandfather used to be the ceremonial wrestler of one of the Raja of India, near Jalandhar. He got 2 qualities. One was the wrestling, and the second was that he was a spiritual, with Kashf mean spiritual thinking, just like Gautam Buddha, like that. So in this way, we came to Faisalabad, or Lailpur, first original name Lailpur, because Lail was one of the governors of in Punjab, and so the new city was built in 1912, and it was called Lailpur. Then later on it was changed into Faisalabad. Faisal used to be the king of Saudi Arabia. He came once to Pakistan, in 1974. So the government of Pakistan changed the name from Lailpur to Faisalabad. My father, being very much educated himself, he wanted we all brothers sisters to be at least the graduates. So my eldest brother, he did the PhD from Cambridge, in genetics. And then there was eldest brother, he went to the business, because my father used to have the business in agriculture equipment. He used to have a shop over there. Besides his job in the city, in the agriculture department, he used to have a shop, in Jalandhar as well as in Lailpur. In Jalandhar, the name used to be Northern India Agriculture Store, and in Faisalabad, the name used to be Danishmand and Company. Danishmand was the name of the Basti, the settlement where we used to live in. That was used to be a suburb, about 12 suburbs. I got first division in botany and zoology. I got 93 marks out of 150, in botany, and 87, in zoology. So, and in English I nearly just passed. So these used to be my 2 favorite, subjects. So after qualifying that one, then I went to Lahore for dentistry. Because my whole family used to be either the doctors or in the army. So the 2 professions, medicine and the army. Actually, I did not want to live, Liverpool forever, and I did try to buy one surgery, and the residence together from an Egyptian dentist in London, eh? uh, London, Central London, and but the contract did not go through. So by chance, it was lucky that I did not buy it. Otherwise, my wife would have killed me because with three children in one room, it was very difficult to survive in London, Central London, with that type of income or circumstance. Yeah. Actually, it was he was Chaudhary, Mr. Chaudhary was his father's friend, They were very close friends. And so it was just a, you can say, blessing from so nice of them that they offered me that I could start the practice over there in his grocery shop. My grandfather, their spirituality was a different type. Different type means that, this Sufism in ancient days, like Buddhism, Hinduism, and even you can say your Catholicism. They are the same type of spirituality which used to be there at that time, in the last century, you can say. So my grandfather, although he was a wrestler also, but his wrestling used to be only as a amusement, not as a earning some livelihood from that one. No, by the way, in my family, that 5 times prayer which the Muslim has to do, or the fasting in the month of Ramadan, is quite used to be a practice, for with everyone. And I was in 1952 when I kept the fast for the full day in the summer of 1952. And it was so a hot temperature was about nearly 30 degrees centigrade. When I opened the fast, I took the full, this ruh bottle of along with one bucket of milk, and I drank with one stretch, at the opening of the fast. That was the situation at that time when I started. So mean to say that this such type of spirituality was common in most of the houses or residents of the Muslim countries. We started, that there are a lot of people, very learned people, they came to Liverpool. And in Liverpool, there was no mosque. There was only a small house called the Zawiya of Ali Hazam Marhoom.
St. James's Street.
St. James.
By the cathedral.
So where only 15, 16 people can stand only, even, when there was used to be about 200 students in the University of Liverpool, and we all used to say the prayer in the union of Liverpool University, at that time. So I became the secretary of Muslim Society in Liverpool University, and then we used to practice learning Quran and such things, just like this as paraphernalia lying there behind me, that little knowledge of Islam and other religions. Yeah. That was the start, where one of the Akbar Ali, our elder, who was an engineer in Manchester, his nephew Shad, he started the, this. We used to hire in one room in YMCA, and used to attend regularly every Friday or Saturday, there. And we used to be about 10 or 12 people who used to be regular in that Quranic circle, Quranic study circle. When I married in 1974, I had 3 children in 175, 76, and 77. Muhammad was who was born, in third. He was born in Stanley Street. Stanley Street, I used to have previous house, and that Stanley Street is near the fruit market on Prescott Road. And Muhammad was born over there, and there we stayed in that house 1970 to 1980. Then 1980, my mother has to come from Pakistan for a visit, So she can't climb the stairs. So I bought this house. The eldest one, she did the PhD in computer science in Manchester University, and then she became the tutor over there in that university for a few years, and then she is doing the job now in Liverpool in some company of computer programming like that. And the elder one is just doing the welfare work, in the Felicity House over there. And Muhammad is a dentist, he's practicing in 2 places in Liverpool now. As regards, the Pakistani community, they were very much self-contained and very much restricted to their own families, mostly few families which were popular, just like Chaudhry's family and your family, or Khwaja's family, like that, But very few families who are living, but they were living just like as a community, restrained to them. Before that, there was people who used to be peddlers. Peddler mean they used to put the few, shirts and trousers, on their bicycle, and used to go to even Ireland, Dublin, like that, to dispose them off, like Yaqub Khokhar. Actually, the thing is that there are 3 type of people, which are mostly in Merseyside. Yes. And the first one are the Pakistanis. Pakistani were only 500 families, only 500 families. And they remain the same, since that. They didn't grow. As many newborn, same were the people who died. So, and the second one was the Bengalis, Bengalis a lot. Bengalis came later on, in 60s, 70s, 1960s, 70s. And the third one was Somalis. So all three, this community, Bengalis, Pakistanis, and Bengalis, and some Indians, they made the most of the Muslim community of Merseyside. What happened that Pakistani was divided by two groups, one was belonging to his father and the other one belonging to another, and used to be a Dr. Abbas. He was the ophthalmic surgeon who were allowed, although he was graduated from India, but they were allowed by the Royal College of Surgeons to do their own practice. And what they used to do, they used to do their own type of treatment, which was usually mostly washing of the eyes and putting their own type of eye drops like that. So in this way, these two groups. So in the beginning, I was with Dr. Abbas, and I was against his father. Then, soon, the understanding developed between us, and then because of that, we they developed such a friendship that he was just like my blood brother, his father. So such was the friendship, and we had every feeling for any type of kith and kin, just like kith and kin. Once I just give the story that 12 o'clock at night, while he was sleeping in his house, and father came with 10,000 pounds in his pocket, and he crossed the roundabout, this one nearby, and there in the corner he could not see, and the carman also could not see. So he struck him, and father came with the bumps at the head, and the bottom and the knees, and I put him inside in the back room and put the iron, hot iron, clothes iron on his forehead, and tried to subside the swelling, because he did not want to go to hospital. And the man who did the accident, car driver, he asked, whether he liked to go to hospital, but he refused. So after the slight relaxation here, I dropped him at home, and he did not ring his own house even, so that he may not be disturbed. And the next morning there was a big hematoma on his bottom, and when he could not move from his room, for a week, So that used to be the situation of one of the incidents which happened. So mean to say, we used to trust each other so much, like that 10,000 pounds used to be a mere figure to exchange or to hand over, to each other. I used to go every year in the winter. I used to go because I'm very much allergic to heat. And in my 27 years in Pakistan before coming to England, my body used to be red, whole the summer, for whole the summer. And this heat, summer heat, used to be killing for me. So I never stayed in Pakistan after coming first time, not more than a few days in winter and never in summer days. So that used to be the weather, you know. So you asked, you know, whether I should go back. There is a purpose to go back, you know. Either I got the family responsibility. Family responsibility is that if my mother be living or my father be living, then I must be looking after them. But as far as my mother, father was there, my three brothers were there in Pakistan who are looking after them, and two sisters are also looking after them. So in this way, besides that responsibility, we don't think, you know, we have to move from easy life to harsh life, you know. Actually, this religion is such a thing, you know, which is also a individual preference, you know. So we never liked, you know, that even Alam, his father also, like me, that they go astray from their own ancestral belief. They remain the same followers of their forefathers' belief, you know,
Yeah.
in religion. They do practice, and it is not a complicated one. It's a very simple one. My son, you know, every day, Saturday or Sunday, he goes to the town center and he arranges a dais over there, you know, a stage over there, where they put about 200 Qurans, copy of Qurans over there, and they distribute it in the Church Street of Liverpool. Every Saturday, they distribute 200 copies of. Yeah. So that is just a normal, you know, duty of every Muslim to suggest, you know, to tell the other Muslim or non-Muslim that what should be the purpose of life. The only purpose of life is to make Almighty God happy and to facilitate us to go into the paradise, which is the expectation from by the Christians and Jews and the Muslims. All the three religions, they do believe in it. Yeah, I was champion, you know, up to heavyweight. I started my boxing. Brothers, you know, used to fight a lot. So we used to have just like a street fighter, you know. Even at home, you know, we used to fight, and even with my elder brother, I used to fight with knife, you know, knives, daggers. You know. And so we are very fond of these sports, and boxing was our favorite, you know, game. And I was champion from flea weight. Flea weight used to be below 95 pounds. From 95 pounds to 182 pound heavyweight, I fought for 10 years this boxing and remained champion for in Pakistan over there in boxing. And then for boxing, to train for boxing and then bodybuilding and weightlifting goes accompanied with one. So at that time when I came, you know, Muhammad Ali Clay used to be a champion, a world champion, you know. So that was the incentive which we used to get, you know, from Muhammad Ali Clay and Shwarnagar, the bodybuilder, you know. Those to be favorite ones, you know. And even I don't know whether you were born at that time. Steve Reeve used to be the Mr. Universe, and he used to do the Samson and Delilah, so many films, in the Hollywood over there. So those used to be the attraction at that time, then I started.